Welcome or welcome back to my little creative corner of the internet, and welcome to our bullet journal plan with me video for April. So let's grab our journals and a good cup of coffee and dive into some creative fun, setting up our journals to get super productive and organized in April. But first, I really need a good cup of coffee to keep me going and my creativity flowing. And before we dive into our spreads for April, let's do a little flip through the spreads of March. If you haven't seen me set up those and want to check out the process, I will leave a link in the description down below to the March Plan With Me video. I'm really loving the spring vibes I had going for March. That was so much fun to work in. Now let's dive into April. Can't believe this year is flying by so super fast. It feels like the speed of lighting it's going, but it feels so great now that the days are finally getting longer. There's more sunlight and everything, just nature awakening is so nice to just notice everywhere around me. So I'm really happy for spring. I kind of thought if I wanted to do another spring kind of theme for this setup, but then I decided to change things up. So that's always my goal with my bullet journal, is to keep things fresh and interesting, because that's my kind of problem with a normal planner in a way, that if it gets too repetitive, I'm getting bored of it and then I don't use it in a way. So I really want to change things up from a bullet journal and decided to do a more kind of vintage inspired, a bit coffee themed, because I have this little coffee illustration on my April mini calendar overview sticker. I will also leave a link in the info card and the description down below to the 2025 calendar sticker set if you still want to get one of those for your bullet journals or your planner in general. You can get them in my Etsy shop. Now let's just add a little star here on the eye for April and do a bit of a collage. I decided to just make it collage themed and have fun with it. I really love this aesthetic that those spreads turned out in. And like I always said, or like I'm always saying, and you might already know the gist of it if you are a regular viewer of my channel, I'm always loving the title page I created for my monthly setups so much. They are always, in a way, my favorite. Now let's add a little quote here as well before we wrap up the title page. I just love to collect some quotes and stuff on Pinterest or in my notes app and just use them whenever I want to have something to include into my journals and my bullet journal. Now let's flip over our title page and dive into the monthly overview setup. Here again I used a system that I'm using on a very regular basis, and I decided to just do a list layout for the monthly overview again, because this will be a super busy month and I just wanted to have the complete writing space, as much space as possible on the spread to fill up. Hopefully I will be able to use the bullet journal and make good use of the space that I'm giving myself here. Sometimes it's a bit of a paradox for myself that the busier the month gets, the less I have time to use my journal for organization and everything. So we will see if I'm really going to be able to make good use of the space. But this will be something to look back on when we set up our May bullet journal. Here I did the same kind of collage header for the spread, as well as for my goals spread on the second page. I just really love how this looks with the different letters and everything. It kind of, in my opinion, adds a bunch of interest without costing too much space on the page, and it looks so cute. Here I'm just adding a bunch of little sparkles and stars and a bit of an old book page on the bottom of the page, so that I have a bunch of clear space on the spread to use in April. And as it is the first months of the new quarter of 2025, I also wanted to include one other spread in this bullet journal setup that I did in the beginning of January as well, where I got inspired by Ali Abdal here on YouTube, which he recommended in a video to do not only set yearly goals, but also set like quarterly goals. So we are going to make another spread with the same aesthetic and collage header here for my quarterly goals for quarter 2 in 2025, and I feel like it's helping a bit. There was a bunch on my quarter 1 list that I didn't really get ticked off, but I hope that it kind of helps me to stay motivated throughout the year, and I feel like maybe the first quarter isn't the best indicator to see if this really helps, because that's the time when you are motivated for your yearly goals anyways. So it will be very interesting to see how this system is working for me later down the line in like quarter 3 and 4. And for this spread of the quarterly goals, I decided to split the page in 4 pieces. One is my personal goals, one are my professional goals, one are my YouTube goals, and the 4th are my goals for my shop and my little small business. So, can't wait to fill that up with some bullet points and goals for the second quarter. Here's my completed April bullet journal setup. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on my creative adventures, hit the subscribe button down below. See you very soon. Happy creating!